people for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of God may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works. Now, how are we thoroughly furnished? By the Word of God. Without the Word of God, we're incomplete. But with the Word of God, and with the knowledge and with the training, we are complete in Jesus Christ. Now, people are not always going to accept that, and they're not always going to agree with it. It's the truth anyway. Amen. Praise the Lord.
That's the only roadmap we got, how to get to heaven. So, King James first.
Exactly.
Others are okay in a way, some of them, not all of them. But I stick with this one most of the time.
I wanted to just read this to you. He said, now therefore arise. Just because Moses was dead didn't mean the work was finished or was over with. Now when Jesus died on the cross, he said it is finished because it was finished. He was the supreme sacrifice. There was none other that could come after him that would be able to do what he done. But here in Moses' position, he needed someone, God needed someone to carry the work on. And so he said, though Moses is dead, the work must go on, therefore arise and get to it. In other words, don't sit any longer and grieve. The time for mourning and grieving is over. Now it's time to get up and do a work. The work that I've already assigned for you to do. Sometimes we get complacent. Sometimes we get tired. Comfortable. That's a good word. And we don't realize that what God is doing in us is working the work so that we can continue on for Him. And sometimes I know I get a little discouraged, to say the least. Because you look around and so many people seem so uninterested in assembling themselves together to hear the Word of God. Now, there is nothing that you can do on a daily basis that's more important to you than feeding on the Word of God. Amen. And when the opportunity comes to assemble, the Bible even says, fail not to assemble yourselves together. Amen? I didn't say it, he did. The end, yes, exactly, yes. Because without it, Kathy, we can't stand. We will fall if we don't keep the Word burning inside of us and active inside of us. That's why, as we get on down into these other verses, where we're going to learn about the secret to success, one of them is to meditate on God's Word, but He didn't just say every once in a while, He said day and night. Meditate on God's Word day and night.
It's like the breath we took 10 minutes ago won't sustain us right now.
Exactly.
Continually follow.
Yes. The reason that God told Moses to tell people, or Joshua to tell people, meditate on my Word day and night, is because He wanted them to know what His Word said. He wanted them to know what the law was so they wouldn't break it. See, if we don't know what sin is, in other words, if we don't have the Spirit of the Lord in us, we're not going to know the difference between good and evil, right and wrong, righteousness and unrighteousness. Because without the Word of God, you don't know. But with the Word of God, it teaches us and trains us so that, have you ever started to say something or do something, and all of a sudden something just clicked in your spirit and said, can't do that. That's not right. Of course, most of the time when that happens, it's because somebody else is about to do something, and we're supposed to point it out to James sometimes he'll get a little upset with somebody. I'll reach over and pat him, and I'll say, okay now. I know what you're getting ready to do, but you can't do it. But what God wants us to do is to know His Word. And then when we know His Word, we don't even have to think about it. We already know what to do and what not to do. Amen? It doesn't. It comes as natural as breathing when we meditate on God's Word and we allow it to become such a part of us that we don't even have to think about it anymore, because it is us, it's in us, it's around us, it's through us, it's in our mind, it's in our heart. That's what we meditate on day and night.
Without that day and night meditation, it's impossible to flesh. To die daily through flesh, where we can be free and live.
Absolutely. So notice it. So God was telling Joshua to conform himself in everything to the law of God. I don't think he was telling just Joshua that. Do you? I believe that applies to us today. To conform ourselves to what the Word of God says. Now, that doesn't mean to compromise or to have someone convince us through television or through a religious group or whatever that sin is okay now, because we're living in a different time. Sin is still sin.
Time has nothing to do with
Yeah.
it. Sin's always going to be the same. Ignorance always going to be the same.
We cannot neglect to do even one thing that's needful. Because if we want to make it to heaven, and we all do, or we wouldn't be here. I mean, that's our goal, amen, is to get to heaven. And I'm excited about going. I mean, think about it. A place of joy and peace and rest and, no more worrying, no more fear, no more doing without or having not enough or whatever, but a place of just beyond understanding. Peacefulness. Amen?
I don't remember it, but I heard it. There was a singer like a big wedding. It was a big wedding, the whole town, everything on the paper. It was, do you remember, did you hear that? Were you the one that talked about it?
I heard just a little bit of it.
Well, she sang, and she had declined to turn in her RSVP response to the banquet after the singing after the wedding. So she, at the last minute, thought, hey, what can we do? Well, they showed up and they really went on in. They didn't have what they needed to get in. And it doesn't matter what it's about. Without His Spirit filling you, and you personally relationship with Him, you're not it's as simple as that. No matter what you do,
That's right.
it's not good.
Yeah.
You just have to have it all. There's no
Have it all. That's right.
Yeah, there's no way to get to where we want to be with God without His Word.
It's like you can, back in the carnal days, you like to pick and choose the scripture you like.
Yes.
And kind of leave out the parts that hurt it.
Yes.
And that you don't really want.
That's exactly right.
Scripture has a price. And that price is death to our flesh. Yes. And we have to be willing to pay the price for it.
Absolutely.
And
And sometimes we as teachers and preachers are fearful of hurting somebody's feelings.
Right.
Amen?
the word is going to offend, but in a good way. It is necessary.
Yes.
For the design is good.
Yes, you can't have truth without some offense because it exposes the darkness. And that, sometimes we don't want our darkness exposed, but it's necessary.
John the Baptist didn't mince words with some of them, did he, when they come
No.
in?
Yeah, he was very offensive.
But see, that's why so many of the bigger groups, religious groups, get so many people in, because they never tell them what they're doing is wrong. They never point out what sin is. They just kind of overlook it or go on to something that's easy on the ears. And it makes them feel like everything is okay. But I'm telling you, if there is sin in your life, there is an altar and you better find one, because when you leave this walk of life, if you've got sin, you're not going to heaven. You've got to be covered by the blood of Jesus Christ. And without the shed blood of Jesus Christ, there is no remission for sin. And in other words, our lamps are not going to be full. We're going to be like the 10 virgins. 5 of them were foolish, and they didn't have enough of the word in them. They didn't have enough of what they needed to get in. And if we get to that point where we make it to the gate, but we don't have enough oil in our lamp, we're not going in, church.
Right. Preach it, sister.
And the only way to get in is through Jesus.
Amen.
He said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. So we have to accept truth as being truth if it's in the Word of God. Because, see, it's the truth that will set us free. Free from what? Free from the bondage of sin. Man.
So you're out from under it. You don't realize how much bondage there is.
No, you don't.
You don't. You just can't see.
It's kind of like debt.
Yeah.
When you're tied to debt, and you're getting a bill every month, and it seems like, especially if you just pay the minimum, it never comes down. It seems like you're paying and you're thinking, when am I ever going to get rid of this? I mean, is this going to hang on me for the rest of my life? How many of you have you ever looked at on one of the credit card statements, if you have a credit card, it says if you pay this much, you can pay it off in a certain amount of time. If you just pay the minimum, sometimes it's like 40 or 50 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm amazed at that.
Interest rates is high on credit cards. Real high.
A slave credit, yes.
That's the reason I don't have a charge card.
Yeah. Exactly. Yes. But see, sin works the same way. If we don't get rid of it, we keep just doing the minimum.
Yeah.
Just doing the minimum, not doing the full. We're never going to be released from the sin. But we've got to realize that we've got to lay it all down, give it all to God, and then allow Him to lift us up out of that bondage so that we can truly serve Him with freedom, and we don't have to worry about what the world is saying or what the world's doing. See, what the world's doing doesn't have any interest to me whatsoever. I mean, it really doesn't. My only concern for them is that they'll be saved. But what the world is doing doesn't concern me. That's not my life. My life is wrapped up and tied up in Jesus Christ.
Amen.
And without Him, I am nothing. And I can do nothing. Now, when we go on and read through verse 9, there are some things that God was telling Joshua. And first of all, we know that He told him to be strong and of a good courage. And when you're weak, that's very hard to do. And when you're weak, it's hard to be strong. Amen? But when we're weak, God can be our strength. He is our strength in our weakness. He becomes our strength. Amen? And so He said, be strong and of a good courage. And then He said, observe to do what God has commanded. A lot of religious groups today are afraid to do what's right. You know why? People will come and they'll quit giving them the money.
Money. It's the money.
Yes.
They'll lose their money.
They'll lose their crown. Absolutely. Because people want to hear something that will sound good to them, that they can feel good about, only going to church maybe once a week or once a month or, whenever they feel like it, if they feel like it. And if they don't, it doesn't matter anyway, because after all, they're okay.
You'll notice most of those ministries that does that has a lot of followers. I said followers. I didn't say people living.
But followers.
Yeah, followers.
Followers of men rather than followers of God. But He said, observe to do what God has commanded. And then He also went on to say a little bit further, He said, turn not to the left or to the right. In other words, don't allow what's on either side of you to control what direction you go in, but keep your eyes on Jesus.
Amen.
Because if we go to the left or we go to the right,